These are all flagships from GAN, which is probably the most prestigious cube company there is when it comes to 3x3s, with some of the best cubers using their puzzles. But with a decline in innovation and increasing costs, is it finally time for me and other GAN lovers to switch to a competitor? Well, that's where Moyu comes in, probably the second largest company when it comes to 3x3s, and especially last year they have been making some of the best cubes so far. And within these 6 categories, each getting more important as we go, we will finally crown a winner. And whichever brand loses, I will explode one of their cubes. But let's start with the unboxing, which is where I ask the question, does any brand do it better than GAN? With magnets on the cardboard to intricate designs with every flagship release, it is just a really premium experience. On the flip though, we have Moyu, where everything is just shoved in and is pretty boring. So without too much competition here, the first round easily goes to GAN. But once you get any of the cubes out of the box, one thing that you will immediately notice is the build quality and design. Starting with GAN, their cubes are pretty well designed. However, one thing that I do not like about them is that they are very light. And I know this is something that they're constantly trying to make less and less. But for me, I actually prefer cubes that have a good amount of weight, as I feel this makes them more controllable. In contrast, Moyu cubes are much heavier, which is good. However, I don't like how the cube isn't built very well. For example, if we take a look at some of the pieces on GAN cubes and Moyu cubes, you can see that Moyu doesn't really bother with the internals, as they are often just the same colour as the outside, whilst GAN put in effort to make them a lot nicer. On top of this, GAN have their signature honeycomb design, which is supposed to allow for more even distribution of lube, or something like that. But to be honest, this isn't noticeable. So both cubes have some good and some bad features when it comes to how they are built and designed, which means that this round is a draw. Next up, we have innovation, which is something that is becoming increasingly necessary on cubes, as there really isn't all too much separating the best flagships. Therefore, if one brand wants to stand out from another, they really need to release new technology. With GAN, as you can see, all of their cubes from the past couple of years look identical, whereas Moyu have some differences. From the GAN 11M Pro to the 14, I would argue that there haven't been all too many important changes. I mean, they did tweak the GES system so that it does the exact same thing but looks different, which I guess could count as innovation, but in reality, nothing has really changed. And this is probably why a lot of people are sticking with older GAN cubes rather than upgrading, because they just don't see the point. One person who has done this is Timon, as he is still using a 12 rather than a 13 or 14. On the other hand, Moyu have been releasing tons of cubes which are constantly changing, some for the better and maybe others that haven't been as successful. But considering the lack of improvement GAN have made on their cubes, this round has to go to Moyu. Now on to something quite important, and that is adjustments. This includes magnets and tensioning systems. If we compare side by side the two tensioning systems using one of GAN's cubes and one of Moyu's, you can see the difference. Where Moyu uses a screw, GAN has a fully customizable system which can be adjusted in so many ways. And like I mentioned before, this system has changed in the past, but functionally it is the same. Whereas Moyu haven't changed theirs at all, with this screw being featured on their cubes for as long as I can remember. But okay, what about magnets? Well, once again, Moyu falls short. I mean, some of their cubes have adjustable magnets, such as the WRM 2021 and WRM version 10, but the rest don't. GAN just does this whole section so much better, which means they win this round. But at what cost? The next category is price, and I think little needs to be said here. GAN are simply just too expensive, whilst Moyu are releasing cubes that are a reasonable price. I mean, many people even consider their £10 cube as one of the best, which really shows that you maybe shouldn't be spending so much on flagships. However, with the WRM V10, it's starting to get a little bit too expensive. So maybe if I did this video in a year's time, it would be a lot closer. But for now, Moyu easily win this round. Moving on to the most important category, the overall performance. And to make this fair, I used a range of each brand's expensive flagships and some of their cheaper products to ensure I got a full understanding of performance. To begin, GAN cubes are really great to turn on. They have a fast, dry feeling that I think a lot of people will like, and this is apparent across all of their puzzles, regardless of which you choose. Also, I really enjoy how effortlessly these cubes corner cut, as I have very inaccurate turning. But good corner cutting usually also causes problems on other cubes, as it makes them really unstable, but not on GAN cubes. I think it's the corner-to-core magnets which really help with making sure it's stable throughout a solve, regardless of how many mistakes and improper turns you do. But one of the downsides is that they can catch every now and then, which is annoying. It's less apparent on some of their older 3x3s compared to others, but it is still definitely there. Onto Moyu now. They have a mostly smooth and soft feeling that can be enjoyable to turn on, but some of their more recent 3x3s have been slightly faster and more similar to GAN cubes in terms of how they feel. One of the best things about Moyu, but also something that makes this video difficult, is that they have so many cubes that are all very different. For example, the WRM version 9 is fast and flexible, whilst the RS3Ms are more slow and smooth, but stiff and has less corner cutting. And this is good because it means that there is likely a Moyu cube that will fit your preferences. But it does make general reviews like this one pretty hard to do. Right now, I'm really enjoying the WRM version 9, as it has everything I need within a cube. It is also really stable whilst having the flexibility I mentioned earlier. This means corner cutting is flawless and I feel in control at all times. And so, with it currently being 2 wins each and 1 draw, it all comes down to this round. But before that, if you want to buy any of the cubes that you have seen in this video and plenty more, then check out speedcubing.org with the link in the description. They have really great prices, so consider giving them a look. But anyway, back to it. The brand with the best performance, in my opinion, is Moyu. Just overall, their package as a brand is a lot better. So that means I'm going to explode one of GAN's cubes. And whilst I put that back together, if this isn't the first of my videos you've watched, then consider subscribing. After all, you have made it to the end. And can I suggest that you watch this video next? I mean, even Ting Man thought it was good. Thanks for watching.